there, YouTube. Welcome to Wednesday, the 18th of February. It's 28 degrees last night. This morning, it's made it up to 34 now. Sun's coming out. It's funny, I put my watch on and it says, partly sunny in 7 minutes. And by the time I walked out to the shop, it was sunshine. Oh, I just seen Chi-Chi walking around over here. Crazy old galoot. So, went to Tractor Supply, I got some bird seed, and I went to get cables for Sasha and Annie, and they didn't have them. In fact, they had very little of them. It's almost like they're not going to stock them anymore. She goes, well, we can go to customer service and order it for you. So I can do it online, can I? He goes, yeah, I'll order them, because it's the only people that I know of that has those cables. And, I'm sure you can find other cables. The ones you can rely on, priceless. Have to replace them every 6 to 8 months. And I just want them replaced before we take off on our trip. I don't have to worry about them. I actually have never had one break. But, there's always that first time. But anyway, it's hump day. Let's head on out and get some spiders worked on today. Ziggity. It's nice to have a workload. 37 degrees. Sometime after Castle Rock, it started raining and got worse as we got here. It's funny, we took the exit off of 205 and I realized my sunshade's down from the sun coming in the side window over here.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't needed that for 50 miles or better,
Yeah.
Mama, it is hump day. It's the bump in the week.
Yeah.
And got some stuff to do, so I'm gonna bail out and head on down there.
All right.
Hope you have a wonderful Wednesday there, Mama.
You too, Hubba.
All righty. Love you. See you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye-bye now. Well, regardless of what we find here, that spider's definitely gonna need a battery. You can tell it's been a super long time since that thing ran. See how it's sitting all squatted? See how those are not? Those haven't been ran in a month, maybe? Remember, I had to put a battery in that one. That was one of those weird things that a new Yuasa was cooked. And anyway, I charged them up. But, the suspension is all sacked out. It just sits there long enough, the air just slowly bleeds out. But it's going to need a battery. But look at this, shocking. Right out of the gate, 1289. I'll just walk you guys through this thing. So you hit enter, get the old Midtronics little nose, and I always put in service, because if there's anything funky, it just says charge and retest. So always hit in service, and it is out of the vehicle. Other YTX 24 HL. That's what she is. And then hit enter and let her do her test. Testing. Good battery, 1288. Health, 100%. Charge, 100%. These are the ones, that's a BRP part number on that thing. I don't think, because it's sealed up like it came from Yuasa that way. But is Yuasa doing something different than, BRP doing something different, or is Yuasa doing something different for BRP? I have no idea, but these things always, when we get them from BRP, seem to be at a higher state. Or maybe when we order them, we're just getting way fresher batteries, because, I don't know. Maybe, BRP, when we order them, they demand fresh stock from Yuasa. I don't know. The good old made in the USA Yuasas. You gotta be careful. There are some foreign made Yuasas, especially the smaller ones. So make sure something about the US made ones just always seem to be better for some reason. But we will fresh bolts for it. Drag this thing over here, and the tires are all but flat. And then, I moved it out of the way so I could get the Spyder out yesterday to go for a test ride. And it's not just the flat tires that make it hard to push. It's in gear, which is a big no-no. Always put them things in neutral before you shut them down, because like I say, it does a dry shift, because it has to be in neutral to start. It doesn't have a clutch you can pull or anything. It has to be in neutral. So the HCM manually does, and you'll hear it, especially when they've been sitting for a while. It'll go blam. I'm like, yeah, that's not what I want to do to my transmission. And I've been told, tell the customers, put it in neutral before you shut them off, because the SC5, the old twins, SE6, the 1330s, it doesn't. People think, well, I need to shut it off in gear so it doesn't roll away if the park brake fails. Dude, it will roll. It'll take off. Yeah, that clutch it's like holding in the clutch when it's shut off. It just holds the clutch plates open. Nice thing about that, you never get a sticky clutch, but I have never, and since 2008, if I come across a Spyder that had a stuck disc. I've drained oil out of some Spyders that people short run, and there's more moisture in there than there is anything else, and how the clutches aren't stuck, because that moisture will cause the steel plates to rust, and then of course that rust eats into the fibers and they stick. So anyway, I need to glove up, because there's no way that battery didn't leak something somewhere. If it didn't, I'll be shocked. Strangely enough, there's no sign that battery leaked. But man, everything in me wonders, could that thing still be under pressure? I mean, it's even bulged out at the bottom. Look, it pivots on itself. Look how bulged it is on the top even. That is crazy. That's the craziest battery I've ever seen. He put some high-powered auto boost thing and just laid the coal to it, apparently. He said he just turned it wide open. What's crazy is he turned it wide open and walked away. It took some time for that to happen. It doesn't do that immediately. Just think of the heat that thing was putting off. You ever felt the heat when you're charging a battery? It's nuts, the amount of heat that comes off of those things. Wow, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. You can see it bulging at the top. It's definitely bulging at the bottom, because it's, oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's pivoting. It's just floating around. You can see it's all right. One of them daggum ajus. What a mess that whole ordeal was. But man, when you have no supply, you got to do something. But anyway, let's get a new one in there and pray that she powers up. Let me show you one other thing here. If you ever have a complete power outage, I mean a total outage, and battery and everything's fine, that right there is that 80 amp, that's the main fuse of this thing that goes to the alternator. Actually, I think it does power up, it just doesn't charge. You have zero charge. It's probably a good idea to check that thing before I put the battery in. Make sure that thing's not smoked, because you can't get to it with the battery in there because it's kind of in the way. Well, that's a good sign. She's perfectly intact. And see, there's your VCM. There's the center of your frame. That's all wide open. Wide open. So that's why it's important to have that battery door shut. And that's why I put a slit in that boot. I'm gonna go upstairs and get him a battery tender lead. Even if I have to pay for it, this thing needs to be on a battery tender all the time. Preferably, as I'll always say, as an Optimate. And Yeah, you never have this problem. These things will sack a battery just sitting here. They can pull up to 200 milliamps just sitting here. It's got 7 computers it's got to keep alive in that thing. If you don't have a tender on them, it's like everything in my shop. I come home and immediately plug it in. Look at this guy. See, you never see him without him. Although that's not an Optimate one, but at least it's one. These things are always so hard. They look like a cable gone bad. That's from like battery tender or aftermarket things or whatever. The Optimate ones are nice and soft and pliable. Anyway, let me go up there and I'll get a tender lead for this thing right quick. And if you don't want to pay for it, I'll pay for it. We'll save the guy or something here, so he doesn't ever have to feel the need to put a charger on it, a booster. Batteries, Spyders, I gotta say, when they're using tender leads, I've seen them last as little as 8 years with them. It doesn't tend to have that 10 or 11 year, but I've definitely replaced a handful that were confirmed. We got an RO where I put it in 10 years ago, so they will last 10 years. But the majority of them, because I don't think the people are putting them on all the time, and I've seen them, someone that says they use it, religiously, I've seen them as low as 8 years. But dude, what lasts 8 years? I mean, that's a long time for even a car battery. So anyway, you got the potential of 10 years with these things. And batteries are expensive. I don't know, I think they're like $189 or something retail. Holy moly. All right. Well, look who's alive and kicking. I haven't hooked it up to see if it's got any codes or anything on it, but it actually lit right off as soon as I, you always hook up the positive first. As soon as I touched the negative, and if it's been off for a while, you get that spark. As soon as I got that, I knew she was going to be a runner. Got to get it in gear, park brake off, and put on the brake, and boom, the pump will pump it up. So I wouldn't be able to get it on the bench the way it sits right now. But thing that concerns me is also had a note that he was getting suspension errors, and he took it to a dealer and another dealer, and they couldn't figure it out. So we'll figure it out. And he's also got the brake spring recall thing for it. Thank goodness it's just a spring, because putting the whole switch in there is a whole nother deal. But heck yeah, I love that. Look at those tires. This thing must have some miles on it, man. Them front tires got some wear on them. What are you talking here? Oh, it's always in the wrong mode. It's always in a trip mode. Wow, 10,000 miles? That's weird for that thing to have that much wear. He must be an aggressive as holy heck rider, or he's been riding it with super low tire pressure. Yeah, buddy, that boy's been having some fun on this thing. What's your weird rear sneaker looking like? I can't see it on this thing. I'll get it on the rack. Not only is it under that fender, but the suspension is all squatted. I'll show you. But oh boy, yeah, he needs a brake flush. That is a soft pedal. Park brake off. Drop her in gear. Do I hear the pump? I'm not sure I hear the pump. Oh no. Yeah, well, we might have a problem with the air pump here. Yeah, that pump should be running right now. That's a bummer. No fault codes. Fair Interesting. But yeah, I'll get her hooked up to the computer here. First I'll walk over here with some air and air her up a little bit. Got an air hose right there. And see, get her up there and see what's going on with the ACS. Hopefully the pump's not bad. Taking the rear trunk off of these is next level. It's just there's just more to it. Although I think the wiring part of it is easier. It's probably 6 of one, half a dozen the other. Probably because I've done the old ones like this where the trunk and bags are all one piece. But it seems like the dealing with the wiring because the battery's off in there, and yeah. So maybe this one is easier. I just haven't done as many of these. And the two I did was, one of those is in that box over there where the little motor coupler disconnected from the flywheel that runs the pump itself, which is really weird. That's exactly what happened to that 2011. Usually they'd either just wouldn't work at all or it'd have this funky sound and it wouldn't. Yeah. So as of 2020, I don't think it was it in 2020? Might have been a year or two later. So you even get the explanation there telling me there's something. Might have been in 2020, but I want to say it was a couple years later, maybe 22, that they announced that the ACS system is being monitored. If you got air leaks or anything going on, it'll tell you. But this pump just absolutely is not running. It's not activating. When I hook it up, I'll hit, suspension up and listen to it run, and it's just not going to run. Yeah, it's actively sitting there. Anyway, your straighter valve's under the driver's seat in the back. A little hard to get to. Be careful, it doesn't hold much air. It's like about 45 pounds is about average to run these things on. Is about where they come, and I get people to go, well, I measured that and it keeps changing. Or I put some in it and then I ride it and it changes. If you don't want it to change, you need to hook it up to buds and disarm ACS. Otherwise, the old classic thing, you hit the brakes, everything binds up and it holds, if you keep your foot on the brake, and as you let go, the bike will settle. Well, if you hold it and it's bound up, the ACS sensor thinks, whoa, dude, this thing's got way too much height in it. So it just starts letting all the air out like crazy. And now the pump's not running, there's nothing to put it back in. That's why you just disarm it in an emergency. If you, on a trip or whatever, find a dealer and, buy him a box of donuts or something, say, can you please hook up and just disarm my ACS until I get home? Because then it'll run just like a regular non-ACS, with one exception. Like I told you, there's so many air fittings that they do leak. You almost need to do it daily. Just go, buy one of those syringe suspension pumps. I would, if I was traveling on one of these, just for the heck of it, because you can buy those things pretty cheap on Amazon. I would just buy one and throw it in my kit. And that's not one of those things that you can use like a tire pump, especially one that spins on, because just when you're unscrewing it, that's enough air to empty the bag. That bag is a very small volume of air. Back to lights here. I've let all the air out of this one, but that's a very, very small volume. And one little hiss. In fact, I've got a really good, I use it for tires and everything else, but doing that is 2 pounds, sometimes 3. Just doing a quick check, let go. Just that the instant little hiss not a hiss, just a pop, because you're doing it so fast. That's 2 to 3 pounds. So if you got one of those screw-on things, now suspension pumps do have a screw-on thing, but they're designed to unscrew and screw on. They're not like the battery operated charger things or pumps you get, because it's a tire that's got so much volume in it. But anyway, like this one sitting right here. I think it might be on the right side on the RTs. Yep. Classic shock is gone. Yeah. It's on the right hand side. What is the deal with those things? There is an update, and the angle's different. You gotta be careful when you get the update, because there's one for the newer ones, the seat is reinforced, and you can't put that update on there because it will literally bow and damage your seat, because the seat pan is not strong enough to take that force. But anyway, the kit has a different angle. I got an extra one of those for some reason. It's a weird little thing that you attach, where the old one attached to the seat, and now the shock mounts to that bracket. It's just a different ratio, and it doesn't overwork the shock. And they never come back. Well, unfortunately, it's the ACS pump, because I can, if I try to, well, got a weird reflection. I should hear the pump running, but if you listen carefully, you'll hear it let go. But it's not activating. Everything's connected like it should be. It's just a classic ACS pump. Oh, and good Lord, I was talking about the front tires. I wonder if this guy's dirt riding this thing. That's unusual wear for the amount of miles he has. Oh, wow. Yeah, something's funky going on here. I need to get him up in the air and make sure he doesn't have a damaged belt. Because a lot of gravel riding can be really aggressive on these tires. And I imagine that dirt, it kind of looks like the gentleman that lives a ways. I don't know how far this guy lives away. The one over there, it looks like it was hauled on a trailer. Kind of the same look. Or he's riding in those conditions, which is kind of scary. You need, that's what you need right there. But anyway, I got some parts list to make. All right, so I got the service stuff done. I need to turn in a estimate. Unfortunately, I found it's got rocks in the belt, and he's got a lot of gravel everywhere. He must either ride on dirt roads, lives on a dirt road, something. But anyway, I got some estimate stuff to do. It's almost time to bail out for the night. I still got the brakes to do. I'll bust that out first thing in the morning. I think this is on my schedule for today and tomorrow. But anyway, I think on that, we're gonna roll. It looks like it's been super nice there in Toledo all day today. At some times there was even, I'm not saying it's sunny, but it was very bright. But unfortunately, starting at 5 o'clock, the rain's supposed to start pouring down, so just in time for us to go home, we're gonna hit the brunt of the weather. But I think we're gonna roll with that. We'll see you at the house doing a goodbye out there in the driveway, and probably in the pouring rain. Pacific Northwest this time of year. That's just what you get. All right. Appreciate you listening to me rattle on about, what is this, about the fourth red 22? Third one. What's with the red 22s? Year model 2022. But cool. I don't mind. Bring them on. Well, hello there. It was pouring so hard, soaker rain stuff at the store, that it took us 10 miles down the freeway before the fog got out of here. I don't have no air conditioner pump, so I don't have that added defrost. And then we get to, well, just on the other side of Castle Rock, I go,
Yeah.
road's dry. It doesn't look like it's ever dripped a drop here all day long.
Nice.
And I mean, there's still twilight out there. Of course, you can't really see it, but even though it's cloudy, you can see brightness out there. So it's crazy. It poured all day at work.
Yeah, it is nasty.
Oh yeah, every time I had to go upstairs, it got soaked. You know, you have to walk along because it gets on your glasses and the wind's blowing. And
Can't
Sasha.
tell what dog is. Oh, is that Sasha?
that's Sasha.
Oh.
But anyway, we're gonna roll out of that.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same Smoak time, same Smoak channel. Don't forget to give her a thumbs up. And you guys have an amazing Thursday or Friday.
Heck yeah.
And we'll see you in the
I
morning.
reckon we will. Appreciate you watching now.
Yes.
Bye bye.